When this mother and daughter team started their garden, it was all about sharing their love for seasonal blooms. Now, nestled in the heart of Waikato, their garden is bursting with color and life. They open their gate from time to time, inviting visitors to enjoy their beautiful floral display and have a stop by their wee gift shop. Today we are visiting Pumphouse Bloom to see how they made it all happen, one flower at a time.
I'm Trish and started here many years ago when I had a large family of 5 children and was very interested in herbs. So we ended up coming to a farm which had a very old cottage, and I'd always had a romantic vision of a herb garden around this cottage. So we did that, and then years later we actually had one of the largest herb gardens in New Zealand, and it was a tourist destination. We moved an old villa onto that and used to serve herb teas and high teas with lavender scones, edible flowers on the cream. And we'd take people on guided tours through the garden, so it was quite a tourist destination. And we also made a range of herbal products, culinary products like chutneys and sauces and jams. And we did a bit of export to New York and David Jones in Australia. And so 20 years later, it was time. So had a couple of years off. And then my daughter, Rowena, came home to live. And between us, we started this flower garden. It was a paddock of the highest weeds you've ever seen, and the seeds would have been 100 years of seeds there. So anyhow, with my husband's help, we set up this garden to make bouquets from mainly dahlias and lots of heirloom flowers.
I'm Rowena, and it was a dream of my mum's. She had always been able to see the vision of the little old pump house here with the weeds up to our armpits, but she had the vision of a beautiful cottage garden in the front of this old shed. So yeah, we got out here with a lot of hard work, thanks to my dad, who put in so much mahi to make it as gorgeous as it is, to get all the hardware in, while Mum and I did the designing and the planting. So it was an amazing little team effort, and we've found our own strengths as we've worked side by side for the last 4 seasons, and discovered where we create quite a yin yang, I suppose, of where our strengths are and our weaknesses, so we sort of cover for each other. So yeah, this is our Pumphouse Blooms. So we began by buying a whole lot of dahlia tubers in. Those were our first sort of big expense, was just to get a good foundation of a lovely selection of dahlias. We've just got some magnificent beauties here that come up each year. So, and as well as that, we got seeds for lots of different old-fashioned, fairly unusual cottage flowers. Yeah, lots of heirloom varieties, ones that a lot of people say that they haven't seen for a long time or have never seen before. We wanted those to make up our bouquets to just look really unusual and beautiful.
So when we started, and still, we've experienced every problem a gardener could probably have with viruses and mites and every bug. So it's been a huge learning curve, and also learning to make bouquets, and they're quite different to the commercial ones you find in the shops.
Because we're not dealing with just simple, straight, long stems.
No.
We've got, cottage flowers will just grow how they want to grow. So it's a learned thing
organic
for you, isn't
and
it?
spray free and all that sort of thing. But the beauty of them just never fails to excite us every day, really. And from spring right through the season, the different flowers that are coming up and the self-sowing of it into the pods. And we're always a wee bit hesitant to get rid of the ones that are self-sown, so we have to walk around them. But that's just how it is here. And it is a privilege, really, to work with a passion and in such a stunning environment. Yes, and dealing with so many lovely people.
So as the seasons went on, I discovered that I had quite a passion for growing the plants, because we were considering all of our options. Like, do we supply florists? Do we go to the market? Do we just sell locally? And that's essentially what we ended up doing, was just selling bouquets to the local community. I was growing plants and I was loving the tubers of the dahlias, multiplying them and selling them that way. So that was how we kind of over the seasons discovered the journey that we wanted to go on, I suppose, with them. There were certainly challenges along the way. We began the gardens just at the very beginning of the crest of the wave of the dahlia mania that's gripped the world. So we went from where we were able to buy any tuber of any variety we wanted to where it became extremely competitive to get the nice tubers. Along with that, though, the mass importing of tubers from overseas brought in a new virus to the country, and once a plant has got the virus, that plant has to be ripped out and destroyed. There's no saving it, and those were really heartbreaking times in the beginning. You'd fall in love with this bloom, and then discover the next season that it had this gall, this virus. So you'd have to tear it out, and unfortunately it's quite an insidious one. It actually can be transported through the soil and through sucking insects. So it's a really hard one to keep on top of, and the whole of New Zealand now is having to cope with that and deal with it. So we've tried to keep it pretty specific now. I've tried not to get too much of the bug of buying heaps of dahlia every year. It's a bit hard to resist because they're so beautiful. But now I know that I've got these ones that are going to perform well for us. I still have to watch out for the gall, but so far so good. We've not had too many losses. So it's just been a fun journey, really, of discovery of where the flowers, what's going to come up each year, and including weeds. Yes, we're always dealing with the weeds. So it's quite a rambly garden. It won't ever be completely perfect because we're quite busy ladies as well. So we discovered that a garden this size probably needs quite a lot of staff, and it's only the two of us. So we just do the best that we can, and really love it, and love sharing our blooms with the community. So I love some of the beautiful old-fashioned names, or the names of the old-fashioned ones. This is Kiss Me Over the Garden Gate, which is just a lovely one that's been around for a long time. And then we have Love Lies Bleeding. Ooh, another one that I suppose it denotes a bleeding heart, or maybe how someone came to name it. This one over here, Amni Visagna, she's just a beautiful flower. We think old-fashioned, but certainly getting well used in bouquets and things these days. Then I love that every single one of our dahlias has got a name. Got Golden Scepter and Labiccio and Henriette and Otto's Thrill. And this is Magenta Spreen. It's technically, of course, not a flower, but we like to grow it. It's highly nutritious, so an excellent staple for your veggie garden too. You can use the leaves in salads, and I've been drying some of these leaves and storing them so we can add them to soups and casseroles in the winter. So we started growing this season the snail vine. That's a real little cutie, and it's highly scented, so a really lovely one to grow kind of close to where you might sit in the evenings or during the day, so you can get the scent wafting through. I love it. This is another one we grow, the Mexican sunflower. It's a Tithonia diversifolia, I think. And it starts flowering now in the autumn and goes quite a long way through into the winter, and provides just an incredible burst of colour for our winter vase. Very heartening, and it's beautiful. So it grows into quite a big shrub or big tree, and you can keep it quite well trimmed down in its dormant season to keep it under control, and it provides wonderful biomass for your compost as well. So just a real beauty.
There is nothing more rewarding than being able to pick flowers and give them to people, elderly people, sick people, and the fact that the bees, it is so important for bees. Our bee numbers have declined all over the world, and of course that affects our whole food system. And we come out here every morning, and it is so delightful to see the baby bees have decided to sleep in the dahlias overnight, just because it's too far home. But it's a wonderful, wonderful place for butterflies and bees and every other little insect that wants to
So we'd encourage
live here.
Anybody to just buy one packet of flower seeds,
Yes,
and put them in pots. If you've only got a grass lawn, just put a couple of flower seeds in a pot. Do it with your children, of course. We need to keep this gardening of flowers and veggies going through all the generations.
So important to teach our children that, and so apart from being good for the soul, it's good for our food,
ecosystem and nature. Yeah,
exactly.